book haul. Hi friends, my name is Janessa and welcome back to my channel, Books with Nessa. So for today's video, we've got like a huge book haul. So I haven't actually taken the time to count how many books there are total, but I'm pretty sure there's about 80, give or take some. But I guess I'm pretty much just gonna show you all of the books that I've gotten since September pretty much. And let's get to it. So the first books that I'm going to be showing you are by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've been hearing so many good things about her books, and so I decided that I would just get both books in the series, and that is From Blood and Ash and Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. And because I have no self-control, I also got Storm and Fury by her. I don't know anything really about either one of these. I thought that I would check them out for myself. Now, the next few things that I got are actually graphic novels. One of them was sent to me by the publisher, so like thank you so much to them. And the first one is Always Human by Ari North. I just know nothing. That seems to be a theme for my channel. People use technology to enhance their health, mind, and appearances. However a person wants to look or feel, there's a mod for it. So it's like a sci-fi romance type thing, and you know, kind of here for it. The next book that I have is Teen Titans Beast Boy. This is obviously part of the Teen Titans graphic novels by Cami Garcia and Gabriel Piccolo. These are really good. I read Raven back in, I don't remember what month, but I read it this year and I really liked that one. So when I heard about Beast Boy, I was like, I need to get it. And so that's what I did. Now, this last graphic novel that I got, I honestly didn't know anything about it when I picked it up. I was like, this cover's cute, so let's get it. And that is On a Sunbeam. I was looking through it just a little bit. I skimmed through the synopsis, and it's pretty much a sapphic romance set in 2 different timelines. And I was like, I'm here for that. When it comes to these next 3 books that I'm about to mention, I feel like I am very much behind in getting these books and reading these books. But they're here now, they're in my possession, and they probably won't be read for a while, but you know, they're here. So the first one I have is Truly Devious. I know it's like set at a school, and you know, that's it. Someone's kidnapped. Okay, it's a murder mystery. That's all I know. Now, people have talked about this book, have raved about this book. I know some people don't like this book, but I was like, I'm gonna buy the first book in the series, see how I like it, and then go from there. That is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This will be my first Marissa Meyer book whenever I actually get around to reading it. I am interested in this series just because they're fairy tale retellings, so that sounds really interesting to me. And I also want to read Renegades by her, but I feel like this will be a good introduction for me into her writing. Also, I really like this cover. I mean, I like the old covers too, but like this cover is really doing it for me. Now, this book I feel like is a booktube staple. It's talked about a lot, it's raved about, and I was like, I want to be a part of that. And so, you know, I bought it when I shouldn't have been buying books, but that's okay. And that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. When I went into Barnes & Noble and I saw this book, I was like, wait, isn't this the UK cover? So I guess it's not the UK cover because I definitely don't live in the UK, but I really love this cover. It's stunning, it's minimal, and the color scheme that's going on, it's amazing. Looks so good. And compared to that cover, I was like, yeah, this is the one that I need to go with. So I don't know what this is about. I swear, I know nothing. I'm excited to get into it, read it, see if I like it or not, and decide if I want to get Muse of Nightmares, because that cover is also stunning, and Barnes & Noble had it, and I was gonna buy it, but I was like, Janessa, what if you don't like the first book in the series? So, you know, I didn't get it, but I'll probably wind up getting it anyways, because I have no self-control when it comes to buying books. Either I'm really blind or like it doesn't say, but like she's running for homecoming or prom queen to win money, like a scholarship, and she's being opposed by someone else who's also running, and there's a sapphic romance, and I was like, yes. And also, like, can we just talk about the cover? Like, she cute. The next book out of the 15 million that I got is by an author who I've been wanting to get into, but I just haven't yet. I do know that she does have a book that is really hard hitting, and I was like, I need to read that, but I also feel like I need to be in like the headspace to read it. So I thought I'd pick up this book instead, and that is Jackpot by Nick Stone. I don't know anything about this besides I love the cover. It looks absolutely stunning. The color scheme is it, and that's about it. Like, it doesn't even like tell you on the back what it's about. So, you know, I like that. This book has been talked about quite a bit on BookTube, on BookTwitter, on Bookstagram, and I was like, I need to get my hands on it, and so I did. And that is Spoiler Alert by Olivia Jade. I don't know what it's about besides this guy who's like an actor and writes fan fiction, and that was all I needed to know. The cover, what really intrigued me with this is on the cover we do have a plus size woman, and as a plus size woman I was like, yes, represent. And I feel like this is gonna be a good one. I'm probably gonna wind up reading this in December because, like, wait, I won't be reading this in December. I'll be waiting till March because that's when the Krusty Book Club is reading this book. So now this next book that I'm out to talk about is the third book in its series, and I read the first two, loved the first two, and it was just so nice to see men as like the leading character in a romance novel. And with the third one I was like, okay, I need to pick it up, and that is Crazy Stupid Bromance. This is, like I said, the third book in the Bromance book club series, and we are following like the cat cafe owner and the hacker. I do know also that they're like best friends, so we love a good best friends to lovers type romance. Next book I have is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. The first book I read by her was Monday's Not Coming, and wow, that book had me in my feelings. I'm pretty sure I cried at one point while I was reading it, but her storytelling and her writing, it's so captivating, and so I'm really excited to get into this one, which I'm actually reading in November. So I'm just looking forward to continuing to read her work because it's just amazing. This cover is stunning. That's all I have to say. I have Now That I Found You by Christina Forrest. I don't read too many books where it's like a famous person or anything like that. It's never really been my thing, but I'm looking forward to this one. Story sounds interesting, so I'm willing to, you know, give it a try, see if I like it or not. And I do think that is going to be a good one. An author that I really like, Ashley Woodfolk, she blurbed on the back of it, and so I'm gonna trust her on this one and see what I think. When I first saw the cover for this book, I was like, wow, she's stunning Then I heard about what the story is, and it's, you know, a girl in school, magic's involved, and I was like, give it to me. And that's Legendborn by Tracy Dion. Yeah, the cover's just stunning. I hear that the story is amazing, and lately I've really been getting into like this fantasy world. And like all I've been reading since I started booktube pretty much has been fantasy. So I'm really excited to jump into this one. I do know that for Kevin, Irish Reader, his Patreon book club pick is this book. So I will be reading this one soon, and you know, we'll share my thoughts if I do a wrap up at the end of November. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe, probably, but also like probably not, because I never do wrap ups. And I think there's like one of the dust jacket. Oh yeah, she cute, she cute. This one has been talked about so much, and I'm like, I need to understand what everyone is talking about. It is another fantasy, and I was like, I'm ready to dive right into all of that. And that is the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. And I feel like that's all we need to know. It's by N.K. Jemisin. Amazing, amazing writer. That's that. The next book that I have here is The Inheritance Game. And to be honest with you, the only reason I picked this book up was because Kayla over at Books and Lala, she mentioned the book, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go pick it up now for myself. And that's the only reason that I have it. I don't know anything besides this girl. She inherited this house from a family member she didn't know she has. And it gives me like kind of like Hunger Games vibes. So I've said it before, and you know, I have no problem saying it again. Me and veschwab have had a very mixed relationship when it comes to her writing, but I do want to give all of her works a try, well, at least all of her series. And so I got Vicious. I don't know anything about this one except these two friends are like doing near-death experiences, and that's it. Her name pretty much is the reason I bought that book. So this book, the reason I picked this one up is because Mel over at Mel Reads and Sid from Sid Bookworm, they rave about this book so much. And because I trust their opinions, I was like, I'm gonna pick it up and see what this book is about. And that is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. The book's kind of messed up. Whatever. Next I have on this list is One of Us Is Next by Karen and McManus. Now, I do already have the UK paperback version of this book, but I was like, I have the UK edition, the US editions of the other two books that she's written so far. And so I was like, I need it to match. So I got this copy as well. Next, I have some classics which I want to start getting into more. So I just picked up a few. They were on sale, so I was like, yes, save my coin. The first one being Penny Dreadful, The Scarlet Letter, Dracula, and Frankenstein. The next two books that I do have are from an author I think is sort of starting to become one of my favorites, and that is Adrienne Young. So the books that I've gotten from her are Sky in the Deep and The Girl the Sea Gave Back. So I've already read Sky in the Deep and I loved it. I didn't have my own copy of it, so I actually bought it, and the bookshop that I got it from, I cannot remember her name, but I will leave her Etsy shop link down below. She spray painted the edges of both of my books and they look absolutely stunning. So I also got a Curse So Dark and Lonely from their shop, and they spray painted it and they look so good. I definitely recommend looking at her shop, especially if you want sprayed edged books, because they look really good. The pages aren't like all messed up or anything, and the color is just so vibrant and looks so good. Next that I have, first let me tell y'all a little story. One of my best friends, Sydney, she decided to read Sarah J. Maas for the first time, and she sends me all these text messages. Janessa, It's so good. You have to read it. Tamlin, Rhysand, Farah, and just recently she finished Throne of Glass, but she was like, you need to get the books. You need to read them, yada, yada, yada. And then on top of that, around the same time, Mel is talking about ACOTAR. And then I was like, I guess I gotta go dumpster diving. So I bought Sarah J. Maas's books. I did get the UK paperback editions just because if I can get one out, come on. Honestly, I think they look better than the US editions do. And so I bought, please go back in. Here we go. I bought the entire box set of the Throne of Glass series. And then I also got all of ACOTAR, A Court of Frost and Starlight, A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin. I actually really like these new covers. Not the paperback ones. Paperback ones are trash, but like the hardcovers, they don't look bad. In pictures, they don't look that great, but in person, they actually do look really good. You know, she's here now, and I guess we'll see if I'm trash for Sarah J. Maas or not. I have so many books. There's so many. Should have been better organized, but would it be my channel if I was? The next book I have is another veschwab book, but in this series, I loved the first book. So I was like, I'm gonna get the second one, see what I think, and that is Our Dark Duet. Obviously, we're still gonna be following Kate and August, and you know, that's it. I love the first one, so I got the second one. That's the end of that. Next, I have Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. I've never read anything by her, and when I saw that this book was on sale, I picked it up. I don't know what this is about. I've never seen the movie. Obviously, never read the book, like I just said. I'm looking forward to reading this because I've heard nothing but great things about Agatha Christie on booktube and from my grandmother, so I was very iffy on whether I wanted to get this book or not. The author he's not the greatest, but this book was also on sale, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pick it up, give it a try, and if I don't like it, then, you know, I'll gift it to somebody or something. And that is The Institute by Mr. Stephen King. These next two books that I have, they are a MC romance, and I read the first book, but it's been like years since I've read it, so I decided to get both books and see what I think of them still to this day. And that is Ruin and Rule and Sin and Suffer by Pepper Winters. Like, I don't remember much. I know there's a girl in this book who like doesn't remember who she is. She was kidnapped, and then she meets this guy who is the president of Peer Corruption MC. He turns out to be someone from her past. So that's all I remember. I'm excited to read these again. The next books that I have, I'm not showing all of them because there's 23 of them, but it is the Midnight Breed series by Laura Adrian, and I'll just read them off very quickly. Okay, so it is A Touch of Midnight, Kiss of Midnight, Kiss of Crimson, Midnight Awakening, Midnight Rising, Veil of Midnight, Ashes of Midnight, Shades of Midnight, Taken by Midnight, Deeper Than Midnight, A Taste of Midnight, Darker After Midnight, Edge of Dawn, Marked by Midnight, Crave the Night, Tempted by Midnight, Bound to Darkness, Stroke of Midnight, Defy the Dawn, Midnight Untamed, Midnight Unbound, Midnight Unleashed, Claimed in Shadows, Break the Day, Born of Darkness, Hour of Darkness, and Edge of Darkness. that is a lot of books. Another book that I have is Thirst by Christopher Pike. This is the first book in a 5-book series, and you know, it's about vampires. Next are my book of the month books that I'm just gonna ramble off very quickly. We have A Deadly Education, Star Daughter, Red, White, and Royal Blue, Wicked Fox, Mexican Gothic, The Night Swim, Full Disclosure, These Violent Delights, Ties That Tether, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. We're finally down to the last 4 books that I have to show you guys, and looking at the mess on my floor right now, there's just so many books that I had to show y'all. I had to. These next 3 are in the Shatter Me series, which I've only read the first book, but I do plan on continuing the series at some point. But those 3 books are Ignite Me, Restore Me, and Defy Me. So the last book is a book that I was anticipating pretty early on, and I was just waiting until, you know, I could afford to get it. But now that it's in my possession, I'm just like, this book is absolutely stunning, and I can't wait till I can finally read it. I've heard amazing things. I'm like, I want to experience those amazing things too. And that is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. Not only is this cover freaking stunning, the Barnes & Noble edition has this gorgeous design on the naked body of it, and like other like book companies and stuff take notes, because that is how you do a design under a freaking dust jacket. This book is stunning. Even on the back, like, there are just beautiful freaking designs everywhere, and I'm just really excited to read this book. I've heard absolutely amazing things about it, and you know, it was up there on the bestseller list, so like, it had to have been there for a reason. Like, the premise of it, I'm excited. He's going to find the ghost of his murdered cousin Miguel and set him free, but he summons Julian Diaz, who is the school's resident bad boy, and like, I'm already seeing the freaking romance in this, and I haven't read it, but I'm also like, I don't need to. Like, you can tell, well, that is such a lie. You can't tell from just the covers if a book's gonna be good or not, because sometimes the covers are deceiving, and they say don't judge a book by its cover, but like, that's all I do. I'm excited to get into this book. It's just so unbelievably stunning, so I'm sure that the writing is going to match it. So as I'm editing this video, I realized that I forgot a book, and it's The Last Widow by Karen Slaughter. This will be the first book that I read by her, and I'm looking forward to trying her out. There's been a few books of hers that I've been wanting to read, but I saw this one, it was on sale, and so I decided to pick it up. I'm not even going to try to attempt to lift up even a fraction of these books, because there are just so many and they're everywhere now. But we're gonna end this video here before it's 15 years long, and you know, those are all the books that I've gotten in the last 3 months. Let me know if you have any of these books, if you read any of these books, your thoughts on any of these books that you want to read, and you know, I'd love to hear them. And you know, thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you made it all the way to the end, and you know, your girl, I'll see you guys next week maybe. Who knows? We don't have a set schedule here.